In your headlines, World AIDS Day 2021, details on the Progressive National Party's press conference on the Shell Awards, and the newly implemented travel restrictions. From the PTV Broadcasting Headquarters in Providenciales, your number one source for news, I'm Erica Penales, delivering the latest from across the country this Tuesday, November 30th, 2021, right to your door. Newswatch starts now. There continues to be controversy surrounding the beach and coastal vending bill as the government is trying their best to stem the tide of protests. Take a look.
Today, Tuesday, November 30th, the government pushed the controversial Beach and Coastal Vending Bill 2021 through its remaining two readings, inviting debate on its contents. Tourism Minister the Honorable Josephine Connolly, under whose portfolio the bill falls, sought to clear up some misconceptions.
Before I say what the bill is, let me first say what it is not. It is not a bill to stop our people from going to the beach. It is not a white man's bill. It is not going to stop people playing their boombox or having parties. Unfortunately, there are some in our community who love the soapbox of social media, cannot pass a bandwagon without jumping on it, and try to reduce complicated issues to slogans. The same social media, Mr. Speaker, warriors will be the first to ask where the government was when a child is killed by an unregulated jet ski.
The debate comes amid a slew of protests, most recently by the deputy leader of the PDM, Robert Bean. In an open letter on Monday, Bean said he is in direct contact with some of the vendors situated at the Sapodilla Bay Beach, and that he wanted to ensure that their specific concerns were exposed to the general public. The deputy leader states that while the bill proposes a list of regulations that the government believes will protect the environment and users of TCI beaches, he has noticed that a lot of the sections fines and penalizes vendors. Yet, there is no section that adequately addresses protection of the vendors' rights. He says he does not agree with the view that removal of vendors from the beach will not hurt their earnings. This, he says, is misleading and holds no truth to it. Many of these concerns were addressed by the leader of the opposition during the debate in the House today.
This bill right here, this bill that is being brought to us today for the second reading and passage, I see it as not being good for our people, Mr. Speaker, and it will not get my support. Yes, Mr. Speaker, there are elements in this bill that are good. 25%, Mr. Speaker, but the other 75 is negative. In fact, Mr. Speaker, no member of this honorable House that has been elected of the people, for the people, and by the people should be supporting this bill today, not in its current form, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I want all members to remember who sent us to this honorable House to represent their general views and to act on the best interests of the people of our constituencies and the Turks and Caicos Islands. It is the voters, Mr. Speaker, and it's on their behalf that we must act. Mr. Speaker, we must never forget that our people are our bosses. My CEOs, my directors, my managers, my supervisors are the people of Grand Turks South and Salt Key. And my stakeholders are all the other voters of the Turks and Caicos Islands, Mr. Speaker. So, Mr. Speaker, just like how in the business world, you want to make money for your company, you want to make your owners, protect your owners' investment, you want their company to be successful. So, Mr. Speaker, we are here to take care of our people, to identify ways where they can make money, where they can be successful, provide an environment and opportunities for them, and protect their interests.
We'll bring you more on the debate on this important bill and examine some of the sections in subsequent broadcasts. For PTV News Watch, I am Delana Isles.
Tomorrow, December 1st, is World AIDS Day, and over the last few months, COVID-19 has undoubtedly overshadowed various battles being fought against the different diseases and ailments across the world. We take a look.
38 million people are currently living with the HIV or AIDS virus worldwide, and clinical management is still a thing for those living with the disease. As much as the COVID-19 virus has become a household topic, HIV and AIDS is still very much present. There is still no cure for the disease, however. If diagnosed early, treatment and medication can help. December 1st is World AIDS Day, and the Ministry of Health has embarked on a month of activities to bring awareness to the disease and unit in the fight against HIV and AIDS, show support for people living with HIV, and remember those who have died from an HIV-related illness. Last year, Newswatch learned that a large number of the 600 persons living in the TCI with HIV or AIDS are of the immigrant population, and the unit had reported 16 new cases back in 2020. 3 AIDS-related deaths were reported for that year. An interview with Eldora Robinson, director of the Turks and Caicos Health and Advocacy Unit, in late 2020 shared that persons are seeking treatment.
145 persons are on treatment at the moment. Some of this is due to persons moving away, and others is the decline of persons seeking treatment, collecting their medication. In other words, they have not been compliant with their medication.
To date, persons are proud of the strides that have been made over the decades, which makes access to health care, living, and coping with the virus more manageable. According to CARFA, the Caribbean region has made significant strides in reducing AIDS-related deaths. There has been a reported decrease in persons dying of AIDS-related causes from 11,000 in 2016 to 6,900 in 2019. Events and discussions are taking place beginning November 29th through December 11th. Newswatch also hopes to speak to officials to bring you updated stats and treatment and intervention initiatives for 2021.
Don't touch that remote. We'll be right back with more Newswatch.
This is a reminder that all PTV service accounts are due on the first day of each month. Accounts should be brought up to date by the 28th of the month to avoid disruption in service. Payments may be made on our office at Stubbs Diamond Plaza, Providenciales, Mides Plaza, North Caicos, and Airport Road in South Caicos. Payments may also be made online using Scotiabank, CIBC First Caribbean Bank, and Royal Bank of Canada. Please allow 3 business days for online payments to be processed. We thank you for your cooperation.
Welcome back to today's edition of Newswatch. Police and emergency officers are trolling the waters in the Northwest Point area for any loss of life following a collision between an illegal sloop and the MV Sea Guardian. Here's more.
On Monday evening at about 9:40 p.m., officers attached to the coastal radar station alerted the police that they were tracking a target 4 miles from land in the Northwest Point area. Marine branch officers who were already on patrol via the MV Sea Guardian were dispatched to the location, where they met a vessel nearing land. However, during an attempt to intercept the boat, the vessel collided with the MV Sea Guardian, causing several on board to fall into the water. Some were rescued and some others escaped. With the assistance of the United States Coast Guard, Marine branch officers rescued 64 adults, 41 males and 23 females. Police said they were safely handed over to immigration officials to be processed. Immigration Task Force, police officers from Response and Operations, and regiment officers, who were also dispatched to the Northwest Point area, apprehended 16 irregular migrants, all adult males. These persons had escaped on foot. They were taken to the detention center for processing. At the time of press, police assured that there are no fatalities. However, the search at sea for any loss of life is ongoing with the assistance of the U.S. Coast Guard and a team from the Department of Environment and Coastal Resources. Police, regiment, and task force officers continue the search in the Northwest Point and Blue Hills areas for persons who would have made it to land. A total of 80 irregular migrants are now in immigration custody. Police say this is a developing situation, and they will inform the public as the need arises. For PTV News Watch, I'm Delana Isles.
Persons traveling from the TCI will no longer be allowed to use the previous vaccination cards. Here are one of the new travel requirements in this story.
Non-U.S. citizens and non-immigrant passengers are now all required to produce an electronic certificate showing proof of COVID-19 vaccination. Previously, TCI travelers were able to produce their vaccination cards in order to leave the country. Now, all persons are required to have a printed or digital copy of their e-certificate to be produced at check-in, and failure to produce such document will result in denial of boarding. Officials advise that the QR or quick response code on the e-vaccination certificate contains official information confirming credentials of the certificate holder. This information includes date of birth of the individual, vaccination dates, and the type of vaccination administered. Lack of any of the required information may result in an individual being barred from boarding. Travelers, especially those planning trips this holiday season, are advised to apply to the Ministry of Health sometime ahead of travel in order to attain permit receipt of e-certificate, and to also note that this requirement is also in effect with the U.S. entry requirement, which came into effect on November 8th.
Coming right up after this break, details on the most awaited political event of the year.
This is a reminder that all PTV service accounts are due on the first day of each month. Accounts should be brought up to date by the 28th of the month to avoid disruption in service. Payments may be made on our office at Stubbs Diamond Plaza, Providenciales, Mides Plaza, North Caicos, and Airport Road in South Caicos. Payments may also be made online using Scotiabank, CIBC First Caribbean Bank, and Royal Bank of Canada. Please allow 3 business days for online payments to be processed. We thank you for your cooperation.
Here's your weather forecast for December 1st, 2021. On the nation's capital, Grand Turk, mostly sunny skies, high 83, low 78, winds east-northeast at 10 to 20 miles per hour. For South Caicos on Wednesday, mostly sunny skies, high 82, low 77, winds east-northeast at 10 to 20 miles per hour. For North and Middle Caicos on Wednesday, mostly sunny skies, high 83, low 76, winds east-northeast at 10 to 20 miles per hour. Parrot and Pine Key on Wednesday, mostly sunny skies, high 82, low 77, winds east-northeast at 10 to 20 miles per hour. And on Providenciales on Wednesday, mostly sunny skies, high 82, low 77, winds east-northeast at 10 to 20 miles per hour. Now for your sunrise and sunset. Sunrise 6:12 a.m., sunset 5:06 p.m. For your high and low tides, high tide 4:27 a.m., 4:50 p.m., low tides 10:50 a.m., 10:54 p.m. And for your hurricane outlook for the North Atlantic, Caribbean Sea, and the Gulf of Mexico, tropical cyclone formation is not expected during the next 5 days. And that's it for your weather forecast and hurricane outlook. We'll be right back for more News Watch.
Here at People's Television, we're more than just your leading news and entertainment services. We are
spreading the gospel.
We are breaking barriers.
We are preserving the culture. Each one, teach one.
We are committed to excellence.
We're creating change.
We are creating memories.
We are the future.
I am PTV.
I am PTV. I am PTV.
I am PTV.
We are PTV.
We are continuing the legacy. We are PTV.
Chairman of the Progressive National Party and chair of the Shell Awards met at Progressive National Party's headquarters for a press conference regarding the most anticipated event of the year. Take a look.
This particular event is going to recognize those that have labored from 1976 up until 1991. Now, there are some awards that we would recognize persons, within the community now, but that is basically was the main reason for the Shell Awards.
Calvin Green shared the importance of said event and why they're hosting it, sharing details on the aimed recipients of the awards and what led to that decision.
People who have put their whole heart and soul into a party and there's little recognition for it. That really doesn't go well. And we recognize that, and we when you reward someone, it's a motivator.
Yes,
it motivates people to really work and be involved in the party. So this was boiling up for a while, and we decided that we must do this at this time because you have persons who have done so much for the party way back then with so little, and we have so much more because of what they have done for us.
Green later shared that the Shell Awards won't be the only event taking place on that weekend in the nation's capital and why they chose to make Grand Turk the venue.
The premier, he said this is a historic event and it must be in the nation's capital. And one of the other things that she didn't mention is we're gonna be unveiling a monument in the nation's capital the Friday, which is the 3rd of December. That monument is going to be at the birthplace of the party. So that monument memorializes that spot. The spot is Miss Henrietta Wynn's house and over back. That was where the party was born.
The event is open to the public. It's a ticket event, and we're selling tickets. The tickets are available on the My Digicel app, or you can do a direct deposit to our party's account. So it is an event that is open to the public. We've gotten some very good responses from persons within the community about the event. Ticket sales are going very well, and we're excited and can't wait to see the outcome of the event on Saturday evening before December.
Calvin Green revealed important points on the Progressive National Party's official history book and the work that was put into forming something as important as it.
Bobby Jane music. Bobby Jane music, and the material, the information she got, she went around the island and she spoke with some of the founding members like Mr. Butterfield. She spoke with Honorable Sanders and Honorable Floyd Hall and Honorable Michael Mizik and so on. So that's where she got all the information from to put the book together.
He further disclosed that capturing the history of the party was necessary, being as though as they did not have, and I quote, enough information coming to the public about the Progressive National Party.
A lot of people always say that the PDM won the first general election. That's not factual. None of the parties had enough seats to win the election. The PDM formed the first ministerial government from a coalition of 2 independents and 5 PDM candidates. The PNP is the party that first won a general election, because in 1980 we won the general election landslide. So we were the first to win the general election.
Colby cleared up allegations that surfaced on social media about the award selections and their thoughts on the nominees.
We had a Shell Award selection committee. So this committee was independent, and the information for the different criteria, some of it was distributed within the constituency councils for them to go ahead and send persons in that they nominate for the various categories. And then we had the committee that went through them, and it was a whole lot. So you have to downsize it and make sure that you capture persons, and then at the next event we would then do those persons that were nominated, they would have already been inside the pool.
Calvin Green exclusively stated information on the Progressive Nationals Party history book and plans on making it available to our schools.
What we did, I had a session with one school so far, and I made a presentation to the teacher. And after the official launch of the book in Grand Turk next weekend, we intend to do similar presentations to all of the schools. We want to make sure that this book is in the library of every school in the Turks and Caicos Islands, public schools and private schools.
He elucidated on the historic weekend and his feelings surrounding it all, extending welcome to honorees and public to experience the major event.
That is a historical event. I'm so excited to be a part of it. The unveiling of the monument, the signing of the party's history book, all of those events are historical. And the next day, the Saturday, the 4th, will be the Shell Awards, where we'll be honoring persons who have labored for the party over the years. So we are all excited that this is coming to fruition, and we hope it's going to be a very successful event. We've put a lot of work into the planning and organizing this event. So we look forward to the full support of the public, as well as we look forward to having as many honorees as possible to attend to make it a grand event.
That brings us to the end of this edition of The Real News. I hate to leave you so soon, but of course, you can join us right back here every weekday at 6:30 p.m. or check us out on our webpage at www.ptv8tci.com. I'm Erica Penales, keeping you informed, updated, and affiliated. Until next time.